Welcome back, mamas. Welcome back. Today's episode is going to be short but sweet, but it's very important. I took some time to write down about 25 things that I feel like every homeschooling mom should know or consider before she begins. And it's actually something that even if you are already homeschooling, these are good things to revisit just to remind yourself why you began doing this work in the first place. So let's get into it. I have my 25 things here in front of me so I can stay on track. Okay, starting with the most important thing to understand is that you are qualified. I think sometimes we can question if we have the abilities to educate our child within every subject. But what we need to understand is that no certificate, no degree, no class can qualify us the way that God has qualified us to take care, raise, teach, and educate our children naturally. There's this level of insight that you have as a mom into your child that no one else has. That's the biggest qualification that you need. Okay? All right, number two, curriculum is a tool, it is not your master. So if you find yourself using a curriculum that you chose and you're feeling like it's overwhelming, you can pivot. You can start to use the curriculum in the way that feels best fit for you, or you can decide to toss the curriculum out altogether. You don't have to finish every page or follow every plan. You are free to pivot. I'll give you an example. I can remember using a math curriculum that required this level of like redundancy, I'll say, when you were going over a certain concept. So that you would teach the concept and then you would do about 10 to 20 worksheets just on that one concept. You might feel like I felt after about 3 to 5 pages of doing that concept on worksheets, my child was ready to move on. So those extra 7 to whatever amount of pages, we just skipped them. We didn't do them. So that's the difference of letting the curriculum be your master and being a slave of the curriculum, and knowing that you can always pivot and change and make it fit for you. That's something that you'll have to decide on your own. You can use your discernment, but always know you're never stuck. Number three, your home is the first classroom and the most important one. And it's not about the way you have it set up like a classroom. It's about the atmosphere and the vibe and the energy that's in your home while you are learning. The atmosphere matters far more than the academic checklist ever will. Deschooling is a necessary process. We, most of us who are homeschooling our children, we are products of a public school system, a private school system, a system of learning, right? And sometimes we need to take time to unschool ourselves as we are on this journey with the level of freedom that we now have. We have to go through a process so we know how to properly use this freedom, how to make this freedom feel like the opportunity that it is, opposed to boxing ourselves in what we think learning should look like. So there's this process that we have to go through mentally to prepare ourselves to take advantage of this opportunity. Number five, trust and believe that it's okay to go slow. This is not a race. Learning is a lifestyle. You are not trying to keep up with a pace that does not match the energy of your home. Speed is not the goal. Feeling deeply connected to what you're learning is most important. Number six, the goal is not to replicate school. That's not what we're here for, right? The beauty of homeschool is that you have the opportunity to build something far more rich and impactful than just a basic cookie cutter school experience. And it can be tailored to the rhythm of your family. Number seven, contrary to what you may believe, you do not have to do every subject every day. We tend to work in a loop. So we will have the subjects that we are covering for that year, and we will loop through those subjects depending on how the day went. So if we are starting our loop, wherever we stop in that loop for the day, we pick up the next day, and eventually we make it around to everything that we need and have decided to cover. Number eight, your child's character matters far more than their academic level. I find myself constantly working on habit training and constantly building my children's awareness to some of the characteristics that they are picking up on, developing. And this is very important because that shows that we are focusing on the whole person. Number nine, you will absolutely doubt yourself. No matter how confident you feel one day, the next day you could be having reservations about why you started at all. Now, this does not mean that you made the wrong decision. This just means that you might need to revisit your why. You might need to revisit the goals and the plans that you have for your family long term. Okay, number nine, you will doubt yourself. Every great teacher has moments of uncertainty where you're just not sure if what you're doing is driving home, if what you're doing is impactful. Just keep showing up anyway. Number 10, this is my favorite one probably. The library is your greatest resource. It's free, it's rich in inspiration. There are so many things that you can tap into within the library. Don't sleep on your local library, okay? Number 11, there will be hard days. There's no way to get around it. Simple as that. Number 12, play is an essential part of learning, especially in the earlier years. From the toddler years all the way up until about 6 years old, I would say, it's very important to find as many opportunities as you can for play to be educational. They're going to actually learn when they're playing anyway. Your child is naturally inquisitive and curious about things. So, in the midst of playing, they're learning. You can trust that from the ages of 2 all the way until, like I said, about 6. This doesn't mean that you don't add any structure into their day, but you can be intentional about setting up the place, setting up the learning space to be playful and educational in one. Number 13, homeschooling is not just a process that is developing the children. You're going to grow too. There are so many opportunities for growth for you in this experience. Make sure that you remember that. Number 14, comparison will rob you of your personal experience. Don't get too lost in what other homeschooling families are doing. Keep a bullseye on your own experience and what you want that to feel like. Number 15, you don't have to know it all. You will learn as you go, as you grow. Your willingness to learn with your children, alongside of your children, you are modeling and setting an example that learning is a lifelong experience. Number 16, community matters. Find your people. Even if your people is one family that aligns with your values and your style of learning and your way of being, you want to find at least one family, one mama that you can connect with and share your resources and share your experiences and just talk to when things get hard. It's very important. Number 17, your home does not need to look like a classroom. Never does it need to look or feel like a classroom. What I like to do is set up learning nooks throughout my home where there are things, spaces, and places and tools that my children can pick up and sit and be comfortable and engage in a learning experience, whether that's just reading, whether that's working on a computer, whether that's figuring something out with another sibling. Make the home an environment that just invites them to want to learn something. Number 18, having a routine will always beat a rigid schedule because a rigid play by play, hour block by hour block schedule just does not fit with the natural flow of children. So don't block yourself into a schedule like that. You want to have a flow and a rhythm that just makes sense for your family life. Number 19, there will be gaps. There are gaps for children who attend school all day. So there will be things that you felt like you weren't able to fit in during that school year, or you will realize that your child maybe didn't lock in on a particular subject or a concept the way that you thought that they were. But since we know that learning is ongoing, it never ends, you can always go in and fill in the gaps when you feel like you need to. Number 20, your children are not projects, they are people. You don't have to think about them as this person who you have to be fully responsible for teaching them everything in a certain amount of time. You want to respect their pace, their passions, their interests, and the way that they move through their learning experience. Number 21, God's guidance is your greatest curriculum. You are going to need to pray throughout the day, every day. And as you are praying, you're going to need to reflect on why you're doing this work, why you decided to do this work, and what does this work really mean to you. Number 22, rest is productive. Okay? Never underestimate what a slow morning or a quiet wind down can do for your family's entire well being. Number 23, you can homeschool multiple ages. It's not always easy, but it is possible. With a little bit of flexibility, creativity, and giving yourself some grace, it can happen. Coming from a mom of five, trust me when I say you can do it. Number 24, you don't have to have all the answers to get started. You don't even have to feel completely ready to get started. Start with the commitment that you have and the vision that you have for your family, and the rest will come. Last but absolutely not least, number 25, homeschooling is a lifestyle. It's not just a method for education. It's about raising whole human beings, not just teaching subject by subject. Now, if you're just beginning, I want you to take the deepest breath. You don't have to have it all figured out to begin. You're not just creating an educational plan, you're creating a legacy of learning. You're creating an environment that your children will thrive in. And always remember that this is the most sacred work. All right, mamas, that's all I got for today. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself.